Wow. I better put a leg down off this. There we go. To make sure. There you go. Hang on. Wow, I tell you what, that was a shit attempt at setting up my tarp. Live on air too. Probably the worst I've ever found. It's he's just picked, and I couldn't believe it. Here. But oh, it always seems here. But I thought I almost had to. It's a shame it's so windy now. Getting a lot of wind noise through this camera here now. So I've got a shelter behind the camera here. I'm on the beach of the Burnett River. I've got my camera, GoPro camera here. As much as I can't zoom in and as much, but it's low at the moment. Whew. Oh, I'm hey. And this up, it's got these. I'm thinking about them. The only negative thing it's not really something you always there when you wings up. Yeah, flip this canvas up, okay, because then happens the canvas get hooked on this black bar here, and what it is that then canvas groove in here, and when that happens, the only way to get it back in is to remove your edge wing, remove it, and slide it back in. To take the off, whole canvas off here as that is done. So it's quite a fair bit involved. So they are designed so that you can replace the canvas if need be. But oh man, I tell you what though, it's a bit of a challenge to set up any awning when the wind is blowing like this. It's just come from nowhere. I'll show you, look. Look at the wind, look how it's blowing this. That's crazy, man. I got here and I kid you not, I got here and I turned the camera on. As soon as I touched this, it's getting more windy. Wow. Crazy. Well, if it was any other awning, there's no way I would have been able to do this. I'm glad I've got this awning. Whoa, that's crazy. Okay, streaming health shows it's pretty poor. Can you tell me what it's like, guys? Link I just picked up. Streaming health was very poor. So I'm using I'm using my mobile phone because I didn't bring Starlink with me, so it's streaming off through my mobile phone, and there's only about 1 or 2 bars, so generally I'm surprised there's only 1 or 2 bars, so I'm relatively close to town. I don't know, is it just me, or does it look like that? Now let me go get my little fly here. Is it just me, or does it seem like our mobile signal service is a lot? Is that better now? Just a bit of pre-flare, just a bit of light. I got this little Jobo. These are awesome. I picked this up on sale at JB Hi-Fi around Christmas time, and that's the lowest setting. So it's really good because these GoPros have got absolutely terrible contrast range. So you need something with a bit of pre-flash. I've got this other hat on here. So you need a bit of a fill-in light, and it might need it a bit stronger actually. Let me see if I can set it, make it go one stronger. There we go. So let me know if that's better. I'll bring up the view of the stream so I can bring up now. Let's see, it's buffering, yeah. So you need a bit of a fill-in light. It might be worse now because I've hang on, let me turn my phone down. Because in order to read the chats, I've got to stream my live feed as well. So I'm running this, streaming this, and I'm uploading this. Yeah. It's always windy in Bundaberg, yeah. Well, I thought I was going to think about going tomorrow morning, heading down here, and then I was at my sister's place and there was just no wind all day. It was nothing. It was beautiful. I've been uptown all this morning. Not a breath of wind. Overcast, nice and cool. So I thought, I got out the house and I looked around. I thought, yeah, there's no wind. It'll be great. I'll head down there. And I got here and it was fine. And I was talking to Stephen on my mobile phone for about 10 minutes, sitting in the car, and I got out the car and I turned it on. I put it on a little footstool there to show you me setting this up. I thought this would be cool. I'll show you how quick it's setting up. But it was my worst attempt ever to set it up, because the breeze got me. I wasn't expecting it. Just took it, almost blew it out of my hand. It was that strong. So I don't know where that came from. Far out. And it's just blown a gale here right now. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. This was some forecast. This is not forecast. How is the footage now? It's better now, but it was buffering a lot. Yeah, it says the stream is quite healthy at the moment. So I don't know why it was really bad before. Yeah, Houston, we have the optimal wind for takeoff. It's funny you saying that. I've been keeping note of, I've been watching the SpaceX. I joined the SpaceX YouTube channel, and I've been watching some of the launches that they have, and it's amazing because they show everything and it's live. You can actually watch it live as well. So to show the astronauts being, you know, set up in the room where they're going into the space suits, and then it shows them when they're going out, you know, talking to the family for the last time before they go up to the space station, International Space Station. And they show the launch, the whole works. They show the guys setting up the astronauts inside. You can see the astronauts inside as it's going up in space and everything. It's really interesting to watch. But boy, the technology there, amazing. So yep, loud and clear in Melbourne, Phil, despite that wind. That's good, because I'm not using the additional mics on this, because I've got the media mod on the GoPro, and I'm finding the mic in it is more than good enough for the YouTube use and so on. And it's not as good, it's probably not as good as my Rode mics in this wind here, but to be honest, I think even the Rode mic in this wind here is going to make a fair bit of noise too. I don't think anything would stop any wind noise. You're probably getting a little bit of wind noise here. I've got the door here. I had to lock the latch on the door so the wind wouldn't blow it closed, and that's rare. This is a pretty heavy door here, and it kind of something locks in place when you open it. But the wind was that strong, it just blew it against me, almost knocked me over. You probably saw it live. So it's got a latch here where you can actually lock it. So far out. So that was a lousy. It's working okay now, but it was buffering quite badly. Yeah. Oh well. What do we got 2 bars of 5G, so it's a wonder it's actually working. I could have got the Starlink. I was nearly going to grab the Starlink, but then I remembered that it's not set on portability mode. So I thought there's no point doing that. There we go. Today's choice of drink is Bundaberg Sarsaparilla, Australian family owned, here in good old Bundy. So craft brewed over 3 days. Good stuff. So now you might have seen some of the videos if you follow my channel religiously. Sometimes I drink this and I have trouble opening the lid. Well, someone gave me a hint one day, and I'll be buggered, it works. And I'll bet you Murphy's Law this will probably won't work now, but let's give it a shot. It's never failed before. What you do when you open these is you pull this cap, but pull it out straight out like this at first to break that seal a bit. Because if you grab it with your thumb and try to pull it up straight away like that, sometimes it doesn't open, and when that happens it again gets stuck and you've got a mighty battle to open it up. So, and another tip I read is turn it over and up and down about 3 or 4 times at that first, then pull the tab out. There we are, it worked. Did you hear that? Went psh. You hear went that psh noise, and now it will just easily open like so. So that's what I did. I pulled out first, and I'll tell you what, whoever gave me that hint, it might have been you, Stephen. Thanks for telling me that, because this lid was driving me insane. 50% of these bottles that I'd buy, they're all like that, and I'm sitting there with screwdrivers and knives and trying to bang the thing up and knocking them on the edges of the car or something, whatever's sharp, trying to open the damn things up. Honestly, they really are that difficult to open if you don't get it right. By doing that trick, we just pull that tag out. See, there's there. It's the on here, and you can hear the pressure. Psh, you hear the pressure come down. It goes like that. Yes, it goes psh, like that. Psh. 6 people on. Woohoo! Popular, aren't I? Right? Yep. Big famous YouTube channel. People. Thank you, those 6 whole people that's on there. And well, we got 2 years of commenting. Thank you. So I thought my PC, as you can see, no edited videos. It's still on the blink, guys. I can't afford to replace it yet. That may not happen for April, May. So we're stuck to doing live feeds for now. I'll have to start. I've got this really old iPad at home. I could start doing some video with the GoPro and edit them on the laptop. Not laptop. I do have an old laptop, but guys, it is old. That thing will not edit anything. It's flat out just going on the internet. That's all it's good for. I use it at home to go on the internet when I don't want to use my phone. Oh, here we go. We've got a new person on the chat. Jamie, how you going? I'm good. Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, I'm all good. Just having this is not beer, this is sarsaparilla. It's a soft drink. So it's like a home brewed. Oh, it's not home brewed, but it's craft brewed on Bundaberg, a company here in Bundaberg. What are they called? Bundaberg Brewed Drinks, I think they're called. So Bundaberg Brewed Drinks Proprietary Limited, yeah. So they make their own sarsaparilla, and they got another one which is mango. What's it, passion fruit or mango? They have a passion fruit and mango, but this one here, it's really nice. I'll show you this one. Tropical mango. This is really nice too. Yeah, we get a chance to try that one too. I'm savouring that one, saving that. So put that back in the fridge here. Good stuff. I buy it when it's on sale. If you buy it at full price, it's pretty dear. Yeah, ginger beer. I'm not fond of ginger beer. Don't like it. Man, you should feel the wind just blowing at me legs underneath. I was just thinking this morning, you know, God, this would be perfect day to be out camping at Kincoona. I want to go back at Kincoona and camp out there. We've been getting a little bit of cooler weather. We can almost go away camping, but I tell you what, since I come down here, it's nice, cool, overcast. This has got hot again. There's some dark clouds out west, so I wouldn't be surprised if this huge humidity that's just come all of a sudden since I got here and it's hot. I wouldn't be surprised it's going to be a storm this Arby. There's a big like motor yacht over there. It's grounded. It's really low tide today. It's about the lowest I've ever seen. The Kirby's wall is well and truly exposed there. So, which is a little rock wall that just goes out along the river a bit, just off the banks of the river. It's called Kirby's Wall. Used to be famous for fishermen back in the days, particularly when the bream season is on in winter time. That wall would have to be at least half a kilometre long, maybe closer to a kilometre long. It follows the river at low tide, and it used to get people standing side by side fishing off that for bream. And that's called Kirby's Wall. What the history of Kirby's Wall is, I got no idea, because I remember being a kid down here fishing off that Kirby's Wall with me dad and some of his friends. And yeah, I don't know what the history is, why it's built. It's man-made. Why it was built, what it's there to do, I got no idea. But I know it was there 50 years ago. It would have been 50 years ago when I first started coming down here. So yeah, there's not many people on the river today. It's been a Friday afternoon, I guess, and it's pretty hot and windy too. There's only one boat. There's that boat out there that's grounded. And the only other boat, I can see a tinny over here. There's some people with a casting net on the other side of the river. I don't know if they're after river prawns or not. I bought some just up the river there a bit. There's a place called Grunski's here, fish and chip shop. Would have to be, or probably not, I was going to say would have to be one of the most expensive fish and chip shops in Australia, but I've been to some in Gold Coast and Sydney over the years that are more expensive, but this will be right up there, one of them, and it's amazing. I mean, a lot of people go there. And to be frank, their fish and chips are not too bad actually. They're very good. The fish is good, it's fresh, but you can buy the fresh fish off them. And I bought some river prawns there last week. They're already cooked for about $15 a kilo, and they're all assorted sizes, so there mustn't be a size limit on those river prawns, because some of them were really tiny and some was big. But gee, they were nice though, really nice and fresh. So I got a kilo. And the other day I bought some king prawns. They were like twice the price, so I only got a quarter a kilo. And they didn't seem to taste as good as the river prawns I got, which is surprising. Oh, you got a lot of backlight here, haven't you? You can't see me too well, can you? If I turn around here, is that any better? You might get protected from the wind a bit more if I move out here. There we go. Is that any better? These GoPros are not as good when you got a lot of backlighting on. Buck, if you're watching this, a few of your videos you're doing, you'll notice you got strong backlighting in the background, and then what happens is it's because these GoPros are not as good as some of the other digital cameras, and they were like the camera I got at home, so it doesn't have a high contrast range. Dynamic range is the word. So you got to try to look for more even lighting to get the best out of them. So let me check. The streaming says it's good. Okay. Oh cool, done the tour there last year and tried them all. Yeah, that's the Bundaberg brewed drinks. I've never done the tour. I was driving past there with my sister the other day, and I said to her we should go in there and do the tour one day. So I don't know exactly how much it is, but apparently I've seen some YouTube videos, some other YouTubers passing through Bundy, checking out some of the sites around Bundy, and I saw one recently where they actually did go through the brewed drinks, and apparently you could buy a packet of so many, and they've got drinks there that you can't buy in shops anywhere. They only sell there apparently, similar to the Bundaberg rum factory here, where they got drinks there, cheers, where they got drinks there that you can only buy at the factory, not anywhere else. So yeah. They would be right up there for the price, yeah. I only buy these when they're on sale. A lot of times you'll see them at Coles or Woolies, particularly Coles here. Occasionally they'll go for sale for $5 or $6 for 4 packs, 4 of these. So particularly if they're $5, I'll buy a couple. The other day they was $5.50 I thought. So I bought the sarsaparilla and I bought the passion fruit, tropical passion fruit one. That was last Monday, and this is my second one since then, so I do cherish them. I don't gulp them down. Actually I think this is second or third that I've had. So I'll make them last. I've had out a special occasion or something, or I'm out camping, then I'll drink them then. Otherwise, I think full price is something like $7 or $8 for 4 of them. I don't know how much they are, whether they're cheaper at the Bundaberg brewed drinks or not. I heard that they're dearer there than anywhere else, but I don't know if that's true, because to be honest, I've never stopped by. I've never been there. So I should go and check it out one day. $15 and you get a 6-pack. Wow, really? Wow. Well, I bought 8 for $10 at Coles. Might be $11. I think they were $5.50. Sometimes they're $6. If they're more than $6 for 4, I don't buy them. Sometimes even above $5 I don't buy them, but I decided to get them the other day. Here's a boat coming past there now, you can probably hear it. A little bit of action. Jeez, I can't believe how that wind picked up when I was setting this awning up. They're nearly out of date. Nah. Use by dates 30th of March 2024. So no, they're not out of date. Let me check the other one. So March 2024, I didn't even know they had a use by date on them. This one's February 24, 2024. So no, they're not out of date. Yeah, that's it. You get to try all the flavours. Yeah, they are somewhat limited in flavours to what you buy at Woolies and Coles. But my favourite ones, they usually always have there. But to be honest, I've tried the mango one. The mango one's hard to get. They didn't have the mango one there, but to be honest, between the mango and the passion fruit one, no, sorry, the passion fruit. Sometimes I buy the passion fruit one, I think is the other one there, but they didn't have that one. But they had the tropical mango one. And to be honest, I think the tropical mango one is better than the passion fruit one. I love passion fruit, eh? I love eating passion fruit. But the passion fruit drink one, yeah, it's got a passion fruit taste on it, but it's very strong. It's like eating passion fruit that's not ripe yet. Very sour taste. Whereas the mango one is just nice, really nice. I was watching a YouTube channel the other day, and I can't remember who it was, but they were going around saying, who can do this with these bottles like this? You hear that? Sounds like a ship. Doesn't work as good on this as it does with the Coke bottles, but still not too bad. I can do it. And I can do it a lot louder than that too. But it's amazing they hand it around, and it's amazing how many people cannot do it. Cannot do that with these bottles. Wow, look at that breeze. It's going to make it a little bit of a challenge packing this away. Luckily the wind is going that direction. If it's coming this direction, I'd still be able to pack it, but it'd be like a big sail trying to lift up, and I'd be trying to pull the canvas down. But hey, tell you what, at least I can set this up in strong winds and pack it down. All the awnings I've had in the past, if you go to camp and there's anything more than 8-10 knots, forget about it. Forget about it. No chance there. You have to look for a shelter spot, somewhere to sit under the tree and wait till the breeze drops down before you can set them up. And even then, they're a pain to set up. So normally when I open this up, I just unzip it, only one clip, pull it around, bang, clip on that string straight away. That's it. So usually 20 seconds at the most, but I really stumbled up my live attempt before. If you go back and watch this live video later and watch my really bad attempt, the worst attempt ever in setting this up. But the breeze just unexpectedly, as soon as I got around about halfway out, just puff of wind went right through. It was like a whirlwind. It just nearly took me away with it. And I'm holding on the thing, I'm holding on to keep it out straight, and I'm trying to pull it around, and I couldn't pull it around. Never had wind that was that strong blowing against it, pulling over here. So I had to back off, just let it be, and I went back over here to lift that bit of canvas up in that corner so it doesn't get stuck there. And I went back over here and I just had to heave on the thing and then pushed it on here. And meanwhile this was sliding out too, so I had to slide that back in. My little hack here, because the rain comes through here, so if it's raining you can't have this door open, and how stupid is that? So I made this up, and it works great, and it keeps the sun from going through there too. But guys, I don't know if you can hear me. This wind is whistling. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable how strong it is here. It's just crazy. So those guys out there are probably chasing river prawns, I would imagine. And they'll probably get a nice feed. There's a couple more boats up there. Oh well, tell you what, there's another boat coming. Maybe it's because of the time of the day, 1:30. People starting to get their boats out and trying to do a bit of fishing by the looks of it. Or tide will be starting to come in soon, I'd imagine. No, it actually looks like it's coming down more. I can see more of these walls. Let me just check out the temperature of this camera is. Pretty hot guys. Don't know if I can stay on much longer. There we are, we've got 9 people on. How cool is that? There you go. Hey, cheers, Newy Joe. Making me thirsty. Yeah, Friday session they start early. Yeah, no, they were not alcoholic drinks. They look like it, don't they? They look like a stubby. Looks like I'm drinking stubby. This is sarsaparilla soft drink. How the pumpkin pickers going? Oh, they must be talking to someone who's around Newcastle way somewhere. I know Mr. Buckaroni is around that area somewhere there. Beautiful part of the country there, up around the Hunter Valley. I hope he went to that, what's it called, Wallerville pub or Wallerville Tavern. Right down the end, you go past, what is it, Cessnock? I think Cessnock is the town, one of the towns, a little town, a village you could call in the Hunter Valley, if I remember right. We used to go there a lot, but 30, 35 years ago, I can remember. It's probably the last time there, 30, 35 years ago. And we used to go there, and I had the Range Rover at the time, because I owned a Range Rover for a long time. I had that vehicle. And we used to go there quite a fair bit, and used to drive the Range Rover there. Used to do it in one day from Bundaberg to Cessnock, which is pretty good going back in those days, because the highways were like a goat track back those days. But mind you, I left really early and got in really late at night, so it was like, you know, 14-15 hours drive straight, but it was just the whole family. Went me dad too, and we shared driving. Beautiful car to drive on long distances, those 1976 Range Rover. I love that vehicle. But by far my most favourite vehicle that I've ever owned in my life, and and honestly I don't think I'll ever own anything that will come as close anywhere as good as that old 1977 Range Rover was. Easy to work on. If something happens, it's easy to fix. Even the oil filter is easy to change. This Pajero, I love the Pajero. It's got more luxury in that. And all that, you know, I didn't have it yet. Although power steering, if I remember right, I can't recall if the Range Rover had power steering or not. Yeah, I think it did. I must admit, it did have power steering. It was beautiful to drive away, to drive off-road forward driving. I left it stock standard. I didn't change anything on it. It still had the alloy 3.5 litre alloy V8, and it had the Stromberg, the twin Stromberg carbies on it, which are really good carby. If you know how to tune them properly. I used to take that thing to places like the old local Ultra Tune, and other so-called mechanics are supposed to be really good, and didn't tune them. Just didn't know how to. I had one tuner, one mechanic, top mechanic here in Bundy, who one told me at the time, charged me a fortune to tune it up. And one weekend, the day after I tuned it up, I went to Cancun with some mates, driving at the front, leading them there, showing them the way. And the poor guy behind me told me when we pulled up, he said, "What's going on with your car? I can't see out my windscreen. I got that much black soot on the windscreen." I said, "That's strange." And I checked, it was all coming out the muffler. So they set the car, they didn't tune it properly. It was too rich. It was so rich that there was shitloads of unburnt fuel coming through out the muffler. So I went back there the following Monday after tune. I had the car all day, and I had the nerve to tell me, "It was not like that when we left. Yeah, you must have done something to it." I thought, bullshit, I didn't even touch it. So I thought, bugger it. So I pulled it apart to find that they had the floats. Some of you old timers will know these twin Stromberg carburetors, will know what I'm talking about. They had the floats that were out by about a centimetre, might have even been a centimetre and a half. That's how much they were out. Absolutely pathetic. And instead of going out to Repco buying a $30–40 full kit with all the, back those days you used to just go to Repco, and I always had them in stock for the 1977 Range Rover, the full bloody seals. What do you call those things? Those flat things, the paper things, what do you call? Oh, far out, my mind's gone blank. Oh gosh, what do you call? Gaskets. Gosh, why couldn't I even think of it? Old age, mate, old age, honestly, when you get older. Gaskets. So they didn't even spend that. You know what they did? They got some cornflakes packets and cut out the gaskets with that and put it in the Stromberg carbies. I kid you not. And that's happened twice to me, guys. It's happened twice, not just once. It's happened twice. But hey, that's Bundy for you. That's Bundy for you. They still, to this day, there's places around here to do the same thing. Okay. I live in Bundy. Obviously, I'm born here in Bundy, and I tell you what, there's not a mechanic that I trust. Well, at least I haven't found one that I will trust to take my vehicle to in this town. And it's always been like that. I can tell you some dreadful stories about some of the mechanics here in this town, some of the stuff that they've done over the years. And that's why, guys, and that's why, I mean, I brought up like this on the farm. That's why I do a lot of these maintenance myself. I maintain this vehicle myself. It's only been to a mechanic twice. Once down, I drove it all the way down the Sunny Coast. Once I drove it all the way to the Sunny Coast to get the my what do you call, automatic transmission serviced. I wanted to get a full proper service as professional mob, and I drove all the way to Sunny Coast. I didn't trust anyone in town here, and the second time I went to another so-called top mechanic here, and I told him, all I want you to do, because I don't have the proper tools, and to be honest I get a bit confused with this vehicle, what's top, how to set top dead center and all that. If I work out all that, or someone shows me how to do that on this particular Pajero, I'll be able to do this valve tappet clearance adjustments. Apparently you should get them done every, I don't know, every 30,000 Ks or something, and it was due for it. So I took it to this guy to do it, and I told him, right, all I want done, I do all the rest, all I want you to do is just adjust the valve tappets for me. Can you do that? And they said yeah. So I booked it in, and I had to wait like 4 or 5 weeks before I could get in, because this mob's like booked out by 2 months in advance. So every time you go past, you'll see the police there, you'll see the ambulance there, and so on. So obviously, you know, you're thinking they must know what they're doing. And yeah, they seem to have done a good job. But when I go pick the car up that afternoon, they'd done all this work on the vehicle that I never told them to do. So the bill ended up being 3-4 times more than what it should have been. And that, oh, guys, that pisses me off. I didn't tell them that at the time, but the way I work, if someone pisses me off like that, right, it's got to be pretty bad before I'll actually will tell them so. But I usually just ignore. I just ignore, okay? I'll just say, right, that's it. Bloody wasp, anyway. I don't want to cut that thing back at home. I've got enough of them at home already I'm trying to kill all the time. Piss off. But at home it's that bird go beep 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 all the time, every time I go live. Shit! Well, I just knocked it. Jesus, who's coming back? I was just trying to have a go at me, and I just clobbered it in the head, just punched. That's funny. Yeah. So camping shutting down one of my pub there last week. No camping anymore. Well, I don't think you, even back there 35-40 years ago when I was going there, I don't think you're allowed to camp there. But you guys talking about the pub, you'll know all about the Dr. what's it, Dr. Jerd's or something, Jungle Juice. What a wicked juice. I think when we were going there, the guy himself that made the Jungle Juice was there selling it. He made it and selling it. So I got to meet the guy, Dr. Jerd's Jungle Juice, that made the drinks. I think he passed away back in 87 or 76, or it might have been. Sometime around the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. I think he passed away, and then it was pretty famous then, because I could remember every day during lunch there'd be bus loads from Sydney. 2 or 3 buses would be there. So I always made a point whenever we go there to make sure we don't go there for lunch, because it's just chock-a-block full of people. And I remember walking in there, it was like a day it was yesterday, and this guy was so cool. I mean, he was a really outgoing bloke, and used to walk in there and say, "Hey Phil, how you going? You want to get some hair on your chest, mate? Oh, this Jungle Juice, mate, this Jungle Juice. Yeah, not many people can gulp this down, hey?" And I said, "What is it?" "Mate, it's a secret. I don't tell anyone. It's a top secret." I used to be like that. So it's good to see that the place is still open. And I remember back those days, you couldn't buy the Jungle Juice anywhere except for right there. He said, "I only sell it here. You can buy it here, and that's it." And he used to sell it in the shops. I think you had it in the shots. It was volatile too, I remember, back then. And I was pretty young too. So, yeah. No, well, there you go. I'm not surprised. due to people leaving their rubbish behind. Yeah, it's happened here. Most of the places where I'd go camping have all been closed. This GoPro's getting pretty warm, so let's see if we can make it to 1 hour. Go another 13 minutes or so, and then we'll knock off. Well, what's the time? 1:42. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even in a camping place here, and I'm just looking around me, and there's shitloads of rubbish that's just been blown in from the road there over here. I've got rubbish right here, I've got rubbish behind me there. It was just blowing. So people just, yeah, most of the place I'd camped here and around this area of Bundaberg have all been closed. Some prime real estate that we used to be able to go camping for free, that was left over, some of it's owned by the Bundaberg Sugar Company up north, like around a place called Littlebella and so on. That was closed years ago because of people. This is not just a new problem, this is a problem that started some 20, 30, some probably 20, 25 years ago. I noticed that people, this was started, how things have changed in the last 20, 25 years, but it's worse now. It's getting worse and worse and worse. You go to the place of the likes like Kinkuna, mate, you go to Kinkuna, it's one thing I suggest to you is make sure you're wearing footwear, because the amount of glass that's on that ground, because these silly fools, they go there and have their parties, their beer bottles, and they throw them and smash them up in pieces and then just leave them there. And then the next guy goes camping there, walks around barefoot and ends up with cut foot. I mean, it's got to the point that recently some young boy, a family went out there for a day trip, right? And a young boy walked out and walked on this path. There's a path that leads down to the beach in one section. And all of a sudden he put out this almighty big scream. And he had to go to the hospital. He was end up in the hospital. He had major severe burns under his feet. Some clown had a fire on the footpath, and when he left, he didn't put the fire out, so he didn't put water. So what they did, they packed up camp, must have been that morning. So they packed up camp and they covered the fire with sand and left it like that. And this poor kid, 10-year-old, stood on that and got major severe burns on his feet. He couldn't walk for 3 months or something, I heard. So I think that happened last year. Might have been about a year ago. So be careful when you go there. Like I said, the last time I went to Kinkuna, it used to be my favourite campsite. I used to go there a lot. Last time I went and camped there and visited the place was 2 years ago. So, but I'm thinking about heading back there soon, any day now. I don't know, wait till the weather cools down a bit. There's too much strong wind now. The place, you really get bombarded there with the wind because the sand is so loose. And it just gets into everything. You'll be amazed. If you want to test your gear out, man, you go there with a strong southeasterly blowing. G'day, Michael. Yeah, it's not hard to pick up your rubbish and take it with you. Yeah, it's true, it's not hard, but it seems to be for the younger generation, for a lot of the younger generations. I don't know, they're just getting lazier and lazier and lazier, I suppose. That's the way it is, and they don't care. They don't care. They just don't care. Their train of thought is just mind-boggling. This will give you an idea of what we've got. A YouTube, a Facebook group here. Something to Kinkuna Facebook group. Okay, Kinkuna Facebook group, and there was a couple of weeks ago, a guy put a photo on there, the amount of rubbish that was left behind. And he was there camping, and these young people, you know, pea platers and stuff, and they're, you know, I'm not stereotype, but you know, there usually is a bit of a stereotype. Some of them have got, a lot of them seem to have Nissans. I just find. So yeah, I don't know what it is with Nissans and P-plate drivers. Maybe Nissans are very cheap. And they tend to buy the Nissans and do them up because you can get the big tyres and all that in them. And I reckon there was a lot of those there, cheap Hiluxes and all that there as well. Well, they were partying, yahooing and, you know, going crazy till 2:30 in the morning, kept them awake because they were the next campsite down. There's about 3 or 4 campsites either side of them, apparently kept them awake half the night. And in the morning, they all left and there was a heap of rubbish left there. And he went up to the last person that was packing up about to leave, and he said to him, the guy, you know, you're going to pick all that up, aren't you? And he said, yeah, well. So he turned around and he came back, he checked in later on after he drove off and all the rubbish was left there. So he took photos of them, okay? So he took photos. He actually, even while he was there, while they were camping, he took photos of them with all the rubbish strewn around. And after this guy left, he took photos of him as he's driving away and got the number plates. And then he took photos of the site and he put it on the Facebook group. Well, then it got spread around and then, boy, did they get hounded. And they were tracked down. They were young people from Hervey Bay. So they were actually tracked down, guys. They were tracked down. And, oh boy, I think they had to close their Facebook accounts and everything. They were getting hounded that much. Well, they went back. Someone went back with the trailer and picked up the rubbish about 4 or 5 days later, and then went on to the Facebook group saying, you know, oh look, we picked it up, we cleaned it up, all this, you know, why are you hounding us, you know, we cleaned it up. Yeah, obviously it's only because they got caught out. Thank God they do. I mean, this is the stuff that's got to happen, to put this stuff, these people need to be, you know, they need to be on media, they need to be media, you know, have them identified and so on, because it's got to stop, because if they don't, that Kinkuna place will end up getting shut down. I can tell you that now. Rangers want to shut it down now. So it keeps going the way it is. Eventually it will get shut down. Or what they'll do, like another place, the other section of Kinkuna at Burrum, what they do is they'll close all access to the beach, and then they'll have like a little campground about 200 meters away from the beach, with about 12 or 13 designated camp spots. And I'll tell you what, that'll be the last place you'll ever want to camp, because it will be like a sauna. You might as well go out to the Simpson Desert in the middle of summer. You'll probably enjoy it more there than camping 200 meters away from the beach. I kid you not. It'll spoil the place. It'll spoil it. And that's what will eventually end up happening to that place. There'll be no more camping on the beach. There'll be no more fires allowed. They'll have like a pit toilet down on the ground there, so on. So yeah, yeah, a young guy told me they employ people to pick it up. We have a lot of locals that go there, so during the week at times at the trailer, and they get people to help them, and they go there and pick up rubbish. But the reason I'm telling you a story, because I want to give you an indication of what their mindset, what they think. Eventually another guy, obviously he was part of the party group, and he went on there and complained, and he said, you people, you old fatty daddies, you close all these places on us that we can't go anymore. It's because you use that complain about the rubbish left behind. He said, instead of complaining, why don't you just go there and pick up the rubbish, you know, just go there and pick up the rubbish and take it away instead of complaining. This is their thought, okay? That's their thought process, you know? They expect us to clean up behind them, you know? That's it. They expect us to run behind them, you know, like we're slaves or something, and to pick up the rubbish behind them as they're camping. You know, this is what they expect. And they said, you people keep, you know, you people, if you go complain about it, you know, it's going to get shut down. No, no, it's not going to get shut down because we complain. It'll be shut down because of you guys. Yous, if any yous are watching there that are part of that group, and that is because of you. You're the one. You are the one. You're the one that's doing it all on your own, not someone. Don't blame people that go there, do the right thing. It makes me cranky, so yeah, it's good to get that off my chest. A young bloke told me they employ people to pick it up. Huh. How lazy are they? Prefer to go, I suppose they're on big pay nowadays. A lot of these freaking, it's not like the days when I was younger, their age. If you worked hard, you're doing building or something, there's big money on it now, big money that some of these guys are getting. So I suppose they got the money and just pay off, but trouble is here they don't do that. They just leave the rubbish behind. And it's been happening here for like the past 20-25 years. So a lot of places have been shut here. So it's really, in hindsight, there's not a lot of places left here open that you can go camping that used to be open. And thank goodness wiki camps and hip camps, particularly hip camps, have come around. Because nowadays, most of my camping nowadays is at, how long have we been on for? I've got to keep an eye on this. Almost 1 hour. We'll log off shortly because my camera is getting really hot. Doesn't seem to like going any further than 1 hour live on this thing because they get too hot. The GoPros just get too hot. So yeah, so thank God for hip camps, because most of pretty much nowadays, for the last probably 10 years, pretty well 90, I'm just about 100% my camping I do now is going to places like hip camp, where these properties in the surrounding areas open their land up for campers like us, which is brilliant. If it was not for that, my only choice to go camping would be Kincoona, that's it. Otherwise I'd have to drive 2-3 hours drive away to go camping. But now there's heaps of places for hip camps. The problem is though, I've noticed the kind of late that a lot of hip camps in this area have really whacked their prices up. My young niece, one of my young nieces came up to me the other day and asked me, you know, where do you think would be a good place, and I still might be able to get a campsite to go camping at Easter. But she told me, we've looked at some of the hip camps around here, and there's one in particular, and she's got herself, her husband and 2 kids. They wanted $400 per night to camp there non-powered. $400 per night at Easter. And people are paying it. Even if it's not Easter, I think for one single adult, they're charging $60. 60 bucks, this mob. How ridiculous is that? But that's not the only. There's another place I know near Bernard Heads, overlooking the beach. Very similar to Kincoona. No amenities at all. Just hop, skip, and jump over from Kincoona. 60 bucks. 60 bucks, because it's on private land and on hip camp, and people go and pay it. There's too many idiots out there with money to go and pay these ridiculous prices, and they do it. So why not do it? If you can get away with it, why not do it? And a lot of places around this area are starting to get a little bit expensive, so you got to tend to drive about half an hour drive outside a town, and then you'll get to some really nice camp areas on wiki camp around the places. Tell you what, this wind is getting stronger and stronger. I'm gonna have to pack this away. Might call it quick, see what messages are on here. I was going to talk about my fridge today. I'm gonna need to do a video on my fridge now that I've owned it for quite a while. I know the optimal way of setting it up. a lot of people have been sending me some mess. Well, so I won't say a lot, but I've had some people that contacted me privately asking, you know, how's your fridge performing in the hotter weather? You know, how hot does it get in your car when you close it? You know, does it keep the stuff cold and so on? One guy says he's got a the ones that are supposedly made in Australia, Bushman. I don't know much about the Bushman. I've only ever seen them once, but I didn't buy the Bushman because there were a couple of reasons. Because their freezer was too small. If I bought a Bushman the same size as this, I would have had to buy another fridge, a little like a 10 litre or 15 litre, either center console or 25 litre fridge to use as a freezer. And I didn't really want to do that because I don't have a trailer or anything, so I need to save as much space as possible. But then I did my research on the Dometic, and it's got the nice size, almost 10 litre freezer in there, which is enough for me, and a huge size fridge. And guys, it's pretty hot here right now, and I can go on here and I can check now. I can tell you that my fridge is at 3 degrees Celsius and my freezer is at minus 23 degrees Celsius, and I use really accurate temp probes. These are those Ruvi Pro tags. These are accurate to within 0.1 of degrees Celsius, guaranteed. So I know that's what the temp is. So I've got about 4 of them. In fact, I've got 5 temp probes here, one external, one internal. Ambient temperatures 31 degrees right now here. Humidity's at 52%. So it's not too bad. That's why I'm not sweating like a pig, because the humidity's lower. 4-wheel drive cab. Inside the cab right now, I've only just got the back door open. It's 31.5 degrees. Well, this guy told me that he's not getting any success out of any of the fridges he buys out of this Bushman. It just doesn't get cold enough, and he think he's going to get rid of it and looking for another fridge. He wanted advice on this. And the hottest I've had this fridge work going at was not long ago. Actually, it was 47 degrees inside the car here, and I kid you not, this thing was still on about 2 degrees Celsius of fridge, just unaffected. I mean, the compressor runs longer than if the temperature's a lot cooler. If its internal temperature's cooler, the compressor cuts in and out, in and out, and in and out. But when you get 47 degrees, it runs a lot longer, but it still doesn't run 24 hours a day. It still cuts out. So very efficient, really good insulation, I find. And absolutely, the compressors they use in this is the latest CRX one, so it's got their own Dometic compressor in it, and it's by far the best compressor I've had in the fridge. And these are designed for tropical. They're designed for tropical conditions, and in fact they work better the hotter. Apparently the hotter the temperature, the better these things work. They love the hot weather. It needs that warmth. It needs that warmth. So much so that it's actually got like a heater. If the temperature's below 15 degrees Celsius, there's like a heater feature in this thing that actually turns on like a heater to warm up the compressor, so it works more efficiently during the cold. So yeah, but there's different temperature settings and different ways to set these up to run more optimally, and I've worked out since I've owned it, the best way to set it when it's winter and the best way to set it when it's summer. So yeah, so look at that, 3 degrees Celsius, and I had that fridge door open not long ago. And guys, this theory where you open the fridge and then all the cold air falls out. I'll open the fridge up now, right? Let's leave it open for a while. You see there's a bit of stuff in there. Okay, Let's leave it open for now. Now let's close it. Just wait now and see what the internal temperature is in there now. Let me see where the probe is. The temp gauge thing, make sure it's not sitting on top of a bottle or something. There we go, right in the middle there. Alright. Now let's see, I'll show you how much if that temperature goes down. Cricket's about to start. Whoops, right up that. Tell me about it. Love cricket, love football. Oh, who watched the footy games last night? The Eels and the Storms. Oh, what a cracker of a game, mate. Gone into overtime. Far out, mate. I'm glad the footy season has started. I love watching the rugby league, and I'll tell you what, particularly when you've got games like that, you're on the edge of your chair and you don't know who's going to win right to the last moment. What a cracker of a game that was, eh? Mr. Keys will still got his sugar cane farm up in Bundy. I don't know who Mr. Keys is. I've never heard of anyone called Mr. Keys. We are a farming family. We used to have farms. We used to grow tobacco, small crops, etc. We used to grow zucchini, cucumbers, watermelon, rock melon, hot chilies, etc. Lots of different fruit and veggies. I've never heard of anyone called Mr. Keys. Four people watching. Oh gosh, guys, I don't know. All right, you want to know what the temperature of the fridge is? Remember, these probes are accurate to within 0.1 degrees Celsius. If you don't believe me, go check out online Ruuvi, R-U-U-V-I, okay, pro tags, and you'll see they're accurate to within 0.1 degrees. These are medical graded, okay, you can use these in medicals and so on. And 4.2 degrees Celsius. We only lost about 1.25 degrees for that time that I had that fridge open. It's still recording 4.2 degrees Celsius. So yeah, so the cold air don't fall out, guys. The cold air don't fall out. Granted, the fridge has got a bit of stuff in here. It's not a lot. It's probably only half full. Actually, I wouldn't even say it's half full. It's only probably quarter full. I could fit a lot more in there. It's 110 litre. Oh, look, it's 4.3 degrees. It's only gone up 0.1 just for opening that door. So yeah, you don't lose the cold with these, and it's so much quicker and easier to get something out of the fridge. Just open the door, grab the bottle, pull it out, as quick as that. Honestly, I'm surprised that not more people are not using these Dometic CRX line of fridge ranges in their 4 drives. They're very popular in caravans. They get sold a lot for caravans. But price around, guys, because there's a big difference in price from one mob to another. Anaconda used to sell them, and they used to occasionally had sales pop up. A lot of times they had sales pop up and you pick them up for a real good price. But Anaconda don't sell them anymore now. I think BCF has taken over. But BCF is selling them a ridiculous price. Absolutely ridiculous, very expensive. But there's plenty of other places around if you go online and do a search where you'll pick these up a lot cheaper than what. And in fact, BCF will match the prices, okay, as long as these other stores have got them in stock. Usually, at least our local ones would, they will match the prices. So that's a way to pick them up. But I'm surprised that they're not more popular. A lot of people seem to go for the Bushmans, and yeah, the 2 reasons why I didn't buy the Bushman. is, well, actually 3 reasons. I'll give you one reason first. One reason is I don't like spending the sort of money that these are worth without looking at them, checking them out, checking the build quality, having it run, hearing it. It is absolutely, I could not find anyone within cooey distance of this place that had the Bushmans, and I wasn't prepared to spend that sort of money. And plus their freezers are a lot smaller. They're only tiny, useless really. And they use a really old, mind you, they are pretty good though, but don't they still use the old Seacop compressors, where you go buy the cheapest of fridges you go buy, they got the Seacop compressors in them. So I like this because they had a long warranty on it. It's got their own dedicated compressor that is very efficient, that runs really cold, as you can see. It's got like your proper fridge seals here, you can see, like a fridge at home you get at home. Okay, and I like the layout in here better too. I like the drawers, it's got these lips on here. A lot of people say when they open it up the things fall out. Well, they got these lips on here, and not just that, these will not slide out. I know people have got the Bushmans where these are not in place, they just slide right out at times, and they got no lip in here. You know, I don't have to put another container in there to stop stuff from falling out. And it's just those other features as well. And yeah, it's just brilliant. I think it's one of the best purchases I've done. Quite a number of good purchases I've done, but I think it's one of the best ones I've done. And it's bigger than my prior chest style fridge freezer, and they take up less room. What I've got in here, guys, in here now, the setup will never work with those conventional pull out, and it saves weight too. So these weigh less than a 75 litre chest style pull out fridge, and plus you're saving more weight by not having to use an expensive heavy fridge slide as well. So huge weight savings as well. And this thing's on all the time, never gets turned off. From the day I bought it, the only time it ever gets turned off, about once a month. You don't need it. Sometimes you let it go for 6-7 weeks. I think it's actually probably been 6-7 weeks now, but they do tend to build up with ice, and it's not too bad in there now. There's not much ice there now. I think I might have done it about 4 weeks ago. You do need to thaw it out. You know, just turn it off, let the door open, let the ice melt, and in the book it says to do it once a month. I only do it when it needs to be done, and yeah, sometimes it'll be close to 2 months before I do that. That's the only maintenance really you got to do to it. I keep it clean, and yeah, I think it's top fridge, guys. Hello Kane Higgins, how are you? I haven't caught up with the crew from Brewpeg. I've tried to. I remember I mentioned many times that I'm going to catch up with them. I don't know what the story is with the Brewpeg. Twice now I've actually spoken to them and arranged to go see them at a certain day and time, and I go out there and there's no one there. So I can understand something emergency pops up or whatever, but I'm pretty sure one time I went there and they were actually in there. The vehicle was there and they were inside the vehicle, and I didn't want to just walk up there, so I stood out the front yelling out, oi, oi, you know, yeah, hey, hello, hello, hello. And I waited there in the car for like 15 minutes and no one came out, so no, I just left. So I never bothered again. So, and they knew I was coming at a certain time. I've spoken to them occasionally, I contacted them the other day, and they did a live feed, and I joined in on the live feed, and they were using Starlink. And I notice every so often, the same as me when I'm on Starlink, when the satellites are changing from one to another, because sometimes you'll have a delay of like 0.5 or 0.2 of a second, which doesn't affect anything apart from if you're going live. It seems to then break up the signal a bit, and I notice every so often, you know, 5 minutes or so, you know, signal is breaking up just a tad. But apart from that, it actually was working really good though. And I spoke to him a little bit there, but I never mentioned about coming around and seeing him again. I made 2 attempts to go there and booked the time with to go see them, and each time I go there, they just don't seem to be there. So I didn't worry about it. But I wanted to go out there one day with my camera and you know, stand in front of the Brewpeg boat and have it in the background and just talk, you know, just say, you know, talk a little bit about Burnett Heads, and so talk about the floods, and mention that guy from Kiwi came here and saw this Brewpeg shipping trawler sunk from the 2013 floods. They were just going to trash it, basically, just get the metal from it. So he said no, he bought it, and by himself with his missus, basically sitting in the port marina there. He's just been fixing it, and he's basically been working on it every day for the past 7-8 years. And he started a YouTube channel, and he's become really famous, particularly overseas. He's got a lot of subscribers. He's got a Patreon, and a lot of people support him through Patreon. A lot of people support him through the GoFundMe and all that, and he gets a lot of volunteers. People fly in from around the world. I kid you not, people fly in from around the world, donate their time, and they're like specialists in the marine industries and Cummins engines and stuff like that. Will go out there and work for him, you know, as a volunteer to help out and so on. Eventually it's going to be a good cause. I mean, once the boats, I think the boat's going to be launched within the next 3 to 6 months. They're hoping to do it within 3 to 4 months from now. Going by live update as of now, they're planning on. They had some major hiccups with the engine, but that worked out really good. Someone started a GoFundMe for them, and they end up getting something like $75,000 donated to them. So they're putting that motor into a really nice, I think it's a Cummins diesel, overhauled Cummins diesel. That'll run on vegetable oil as well. I actually asked him about that. I queried him about that the other day during this live event chat with him, and I actually asked him, I said, you know, where would you buy the vegetable oil from, you know, in such a volumes that you will need, because this thing will run on diesel and vegetable oil. And he said, oh, you can go to I can't remember that place you go to where you buy stuff real cheap, and then you can buy it in bulk and then sell it off, like a lot of places do now. I can't think of those sites there now where you buy a whole heap of stuff. You go on there and you can buy it by the big container loads, you know, big huge barrels, and then get it shipped to you. And then, or if you're over there, you can get them set up and so on, or you can buy used vegetable oil as well, and they filter it and they use that. So they're planning on doing that, but it's basically going to be like a volunteer boat, volunteered to researchers, so researchers can go on there and do their marine search and stuff like that. And I think they're just planning on making an income from what they make on YouTube, I would imagine. I don't know how they plan to do that, but I would have liked to have caught up with them and met them. But yeah, I don't know whether something's come up. A couple of times I've organised with them. So after 2 attempts, I didn't bother about it anymore. I am a Patreon. I am paying to be on a Patreon. So I have been supporting him for quite a while now. It's like $6, $7 a month or something. There's a few YouTube channels. There's a sailing channel that sail around the world. They're Australians. They live not too far from here. I support them on Patreon. They're over in America at the moment. There's another, what's the other one? Andrew St. Pierre, Patreon with him as well. And there's one more. Who's the other one? Photographer guy. He's the Sony ambassador. He's the ambassador for Sony. I come at Patreon on there because he's got all these really good free how to use guides and books for all different cameras and so on, and he keeps up with the latest on firmwares, and he shows a lot of the features in the cameras, how to use that. So it's really good value to and so he's an ambassador for Sony. So I'm on theirs. So yeah, I wouldn't mind when they do the launch. When they launch I wouldn't mind going out there and watch it being launched. It'd be cool to do a live feed when they're launched, but they probably wouldn't want any other YouTubers, I would imagine, even though I'm just a small channel compared to him. They probably wouldn't want any other YouTubers out there, which is probably why they didn't come out to see me. Don't know. People tend to get a little bit funny when they, as you know, when they get a lot of subscribers. Not all of them, but some do. A lot of the channels that I used to follow a lot. How hot's this camera? It's not too bad. A lot of channels I used to follow over the years, when they were small, the channels were small, I used to follow them a lot, religiously watch every video that they... But I'm finding that as a lot of these channels get more popular, then I kind of steer away from them because it's not the same. I just find it's not the same. Ronnie Dowell is one of them. I used to love his YouTube channel, but now since he's got so popular, I don't know. It's just different. That Tyler as well, I used to watch him. Then when he went to full time, I just don't like his method. I just don't like the 4Drive Action Boys. I just don't follow them anymore. Though Graham, his own channel, I do follow. I think he's awesome, but I don't like that other guy much. So yeah, I just don't follow them when they get real big and huge. They just change. Very commercialised, probably the reason is. So how long we've been on for? 1 hour 25. Alright, so what's the time? Oh, it's only 2:20. There we are. The fridge is now actually 26 degrees Celsius now. So it's actually there is some effect from leaving that door open all that time, but as you can see, it's 6 degrees Celsius. Now that'll drop down pretty quick. You see the freezer's minus 25.7. Now that's just the temperature of that probe. So all that stuff in the fridge would still be really, really cold. They wouldn't have lost their temperature. And you can see it's actually getting warmer inside the vehicle with that sun is out now. It's almost 31.1. So yeah, let me turn this flash off. Oh, put that brighter. There we go. These are awesome. That's pretty warm too. It's supposedly you're supposed to be able to connect by Bluetooth to these little Jobo. Hang on, I'm just trying to pull the tripod out here. Supposedly you're supposed to connect to these by Bluetooth to your phone, but it doesn't work. It doesn't connect. I've tried many times, but just doesn't find it. And if you go in there, you've got really fine controls on the brightness, but otherwise it's just got two buttons here, one brighter, one less bright. So it's got about, I don't know, 7-8 positions of brightness, so it actually gets really bright. I don't know how many lumens this is. I think it's like 1,000 or 1,500, might be 1,500 lumens. I've never tried it at that brightness. I can't imagine, probably freaking blind you, but it's a little Joby. It was on sale. Little compact little thing, weighs next to nothing. And just hook it on the hot shoe mount on the GoPro, and it works great as a filling light. And it'll work really good as a filling light with my real good camera too, once I get a PC up and running and start using my PC again to edit. Then I can start filming with my real good camera again. But that's brilliant, that little light. So I've turned it off now. I don't know whether it's, you notice any difference? I kind of do see a difference on my phone. I can see a difference. Whether you notice it, don't know. Well, boy, I've been on here for yeah, do you think his partner will be well enough to sail around the world with all her health issues? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think so. I saw her at the markets, the local markets, a few weeks ago, and boy, she didn't look good, eh? She was limping really bad. She had this huge thing around her leg and limping really bad, walking around. I can't imagine in that little small yacht, because they're planning on going out to Antarctica, and I don't know any of you guys if you're into sailing or boating and that. When you go out to those waters, there's some really rough waters you got to navigate to get in a boat that's no bigger than a yacht. So it's not huge. So that thing's gonna rock and roll and shit like crazy. I wonder how she's going to be. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens when they do start going out in the sea. I suppose before the end of this year, within the next 6 months, I think we're going to find out. So it'll be very interesting. It's a really good question there, Michael, because it does appear that they do want to travel around the world. So yeah, I often think about that, because it's kind of funny. I feel sorry for her, but you know, but he's brainy, eh? So yeah, it just seems to know so much. I actually watch a YouTube channel, how much he knows about everything. I don't know how he learns. He must study a lot. He's really good, picks a book and reads and learns it straight away, watches someone do it, watches on YouTube and just picks it up straight away. It's a real handyman, just a man of many tasks. I'm really impressed with the qualifications and skills that this guy's done. He knows so much. Whatever he's working on, any part of the boat, and he'll just waffle on about all this technology stuff, and I'm sitting there thinking, freaking hell, how do you get all this? How do you memorize all this knowledge in you? So I got to give it to him. Good on him. So yeah, can't see you change, Phil. No idea what you there. Phil, see Queensland trialling daylight saving next year for 2024 games. So about freaking time. I think it's about friggin' time we do catch up with the rest of most of the you folks down in New South Wales. Honestly, hey, more good. Yeah, a bit of a tummy. I'll try to eat less food and walk more. I've been working on it. Now that's not as ridiculously stupidly hot as it was at one stage. Still too hot to go out and walk though. I do get out and about more, particularly in the last couple of weeks, getting out doing more walking, and I think I can feel the health benefits already. Like, I've been standing here for quite a while, and I feel good. Yeah. So how long have we been on for? An hour and 33. Wow, it doesn't feel like that long. So let me see what the quality of the stream is. The quality of the stream looks pretty good. It's good. Okay. So I had to go to a spot here that's a lot closer to town. I would have liked to have gone further up the river more that way. I should go and do 5 feet. I should go out to the beach out around Burnett Heads up near Brewpeg and show you Brewpeg. You know, walk past it and let you have a look. And show you a quick walk around the marina and show you Burnett Heads. I could do that on my my little scooter. I should grab my scooter and get a bike mount, the GoPro, and do a live recording, go for a bit of a ride around that area and show you, and go through and past Brewpeg there. And I don't know, let me know. Would that be a cool? Would you want to see that as a live video? Well, we've got 4 people watching. I wonder if it ever come a day where I'll get more. I used to get 12, 13, 14. Sometimes I've seen as high as 20. But ever since I got the GoPro, I've got the bugger all people watch my live videos. So, yeah. Most people watch my edited videos. My live videos are not very popular at all. They're mostly edited videos. Mr. Buckaroony just went live. Really? Is he live now? Oh, he mustn't have realised I was live. If he knew I was live, I think he would have waited. Or he's probably, I've been on here for an hour and a half, he's probably sick of waiting. But then normally he'll join in. I haven't seen Buck on me live feeds. Always be here, but he hasn't been on here much. But he's busy. I know he's busy glanting around the countryside. So it's a sugar cane. This is too late. Isn't it too early for crushing? Has crushing already started? Surely not. That's just a tractor full of sugar cane just went past. Look at that wind. Look at it. Look at that. It's going to be fun packing that away, isn't it? Hey? It's going to be fun. Yeah. A lot of fun packing that one away. What's my battery power like? I'll just, excuse me, I'm just checking the battery consumption. Oh wait, we're down to 2 bars out of 5. That's not bad, an hour and a half. And I don't have a battery inside the GoPro either. I'm just using this hand grip. Oh, that's pretty hot. That camera's hot. Alright, so we might call it at that. Mr. Buckaroony just went live. Cool. Alright. I would have showed you me packing this. Oh, well, might as well. Before we go off. Oh, yeah, I wonder if I can show you my attempt at packing this away. What these are like to pack away when it's really windy like this. Let me sort this stuff out. see how we go, eh? This is probably one of the windiest that I've ever packed this away in. See how I'll just grab a little stool here. I'll set it over here and I'll put the camera. I hope the wind don't blow it over. It's only got like a little tripod on this thing, and we'll pack this away. Let you watch. Alright, it's going to get a bit windy now. Be prepared. Alright, unless you won't need to hear me. Can you see my car? Actually, let me check let me swatch on my video. There's a bit of a delay. So I've just got to wait. Oh, there's a huge delay. How does that look? It's not too bad. Is that good enough? That'll do. I'll leave the phone here. There we go. I don't know if you can hear me from here, but if you can, that's friggin' mighty, mighty impressive. Now normally I don't have any issues in packing this up when there's wind blowing, but we're doing it live. So Murphy's Law, I'm probably going to stuff something up here. Just hold the leg up. Oops, I got this locked. I got some magnets up top here that holds that in place. So that's how that stays on there. I find I only need 2 magnets. Drop that down. And making it quicker to set up. That wasn't too bad, was it? Wow, how strong is that wind? Far out. Actually, you better keep the phone handy with because it's connecting to the phone. Okay, I've got everything. These magnets, make sure I put them away. I'll just put them on the fridge. The front door is magnetized. Good spot to put those magnets. That's it. I'll go in the car now. Oh. Wow, yeah, it's cloud. Hang on. There we go. Back's on in 20 minutes. Okay. Well, that'll give me enough time to get home. It's time to get I'll have to go on live and watch you live. Alright. Starts at 4 PM. Okay. Alright, it's going to take me 15 30